Welcome back to another video, and today we got our NFL Divisional Round playoff picks. We're going to go through all four of the games, give our prediction for each, a little bit of a summary for each game, just, our thoughts, and then obviously we'll end with who we pick in each game. Real quick, though, before we get started, make sure you subscribe if you're new. We do college basketball videos every Monday, college football every Tuesday, NFL, obviously, which you're watching right now, every Wednesday, and then NBA every Thursday, as well as MLB content. So if any of that interests you, make sure you please go down there, subscribe. Trying to hit 200 by the end of the month. We're at 190 right now, so getting close. We'll see if we can meet that goal, and we are trying to hit 1,000 by the end of the year. So yeah, just would be greatly appreciated if you guys could go down there and subscribe. It's free. It takes 2 seconds. Also turn on the noties to make sure you don't miss whenever we upload. But with that being said, let's go ahead and look at the standings right now. So for those of you who don't know, I am in first. I've done this 3 years. This is the fourth year I've done this with my friends, and I've won all 3 years. So I'm looking for the four-peat right now, and I'm in a pretty good spot. I got a 9-game lead over second place. So, I know my stuff, I guess you could say. Yeah, 202 and 82. I don't think I've ever had a year, by the way, over 200 correct. So this is my best year to date, so that's always good to see. With that being said, though, playoffs are double points, so 2 wins if you get it right, 2 losses if you get it wrong. Yeah, we got a tight little race there for second, third, and fourth. We'll see how that finishes, but I feel like this has been the top 3 for the majority of the year. Let's go ahead and get into the first game. So starting off on the Saturday afternoon game, in my opinion, the worst game. I mean, I think that's fair to say the worst game of the 4. It's going to be the Kansas City Chiefs at home welcoming the Houston Texans. Now, the Texans beat the Chargers in dominant fashion last week. I actually have the Chargers winning that game. The Texans win 32-12. The Chargers just couldn't move the ball. The Texans' defense looked very strong. C.J. Stroud was playing He played pretty good. I mean, the defense forced 4 interceptions, so that obviously helps. With the Chiefs, they are coming off the bye, so they're going to be nice and well rested. They're currently 8.5-point favorites at home in Arrowhead. Yeah, I like the Chiefs' odds here. I mean, if it was the Ravens or the Bills, which they will get one of them next week, if it was one of them, maybe. But at this point, I mean, Patrick Mahomes, He's going for the three-peat. He's going for the three-peat. He's won 2 in a row. I mean, he's given me no reason not to trust him in the playoffs, this whole team. I understand that maybe, you look at the Chiefs roster and it's probably not better than teams like the Bills, probably not better than teams like the Ravens. But when you have a coach like Andy Reid, when you have a guy like Mahomes, when you have that defense, it's how strong it is with Chris Jones, Trent McDuffie, all of them. It's hard to beat, and they get it at home as well. They're coming off the bye also. I mean, all the signs are pointing towards the Chiefs. I don't think the Texans quite get over the hump. I said this last week. I think the Texans are a bit overrated. That was part of the reason why I picked them to lose. They did prove me wrong, but I don't know. I think that this is a pretty clear pick for me. I'm going to go ahead and take the Chiefs here to kick off the divisional round. Moving on to the Commanders Lions, less people on the underdog in this game, and I'm actually surprised. I feel like this game has a better chance to be an upset than the Chiefs game. Maybe not, just because the Chiefs game is probably going to be low scoring. This game likely going to be high scoring. But I mean, the Lions are favored by 9.5. They're favored by more than the Chiefs are, so maybe it's not a higher chance. But I don't know. I feel like the Commanders could just go crazy and in a shootout game. I don't know. I think now the problem is Jaden Daniels is still a rookie. He did look very good in a close game against the Bucks. That was the only close game, the only good game of Wild Card Weekend. I do expect at least for sure one of these games to be good. But I would hope 2 of them. I would hope actually all 4 are good, obviously, but. If 2, maybe 3 of them are actually pretty close, which might be a stretch. I'll say this: I think both these offenses are very good. I think one defense is far and away better than the other. That's going to be the Lions. Kind of the same argument. They're coming off the bye. They're 15-2. David Montgomery may be coming back for this game. I'm not sure. It's kind of up in the air. Honestly, I don't know if I would rush him back. I think they can win without him. Like I said, going to be well rested. The Commanders just came out of a very tight game, so they may have put a lot out there last week. Maybe fall short this week. I think the Lions get it done in Ford Field. In Detroit. There's the stadium. The fans are going to be crazy in there. Um, yeah, the Lions are just so good. They're 15-2 as well, like the Chiefs. I mean, this team is ridiculous. They've shown it all off season. So I'm going to take the Lions. I know it's a little boring, but I mean, what do you want me to do? The Chiefs are 8.5 point favorites. The Lions are 9.5 point favorites. Both of them at home, coming off the bye. Both of them 15-2. I mean, I don't know. I get it's boring, but hey, you gotta. I'm picking who I think is gonna win, and I think the Chiefs and the Lions will win. Moving on over to the Sunday slate of games, and this is definitely where it gets more interesting. This surprised me a lot. The majority is on the Rams now. You could say maybe that's because they're trying to get up on the person ahead of them in the standings, which I wouldn't be surprised if that is the reason why so many people are on the Rams. The Eagles 6 point favorites at home, pretty solid spread for a playoff game. The Eagles at 14-3 compared to the Rams 10-7. You could argue that the other reason that so many people could be on the Rams or picking the Rams is that the Rams did just blow out the Vikings, who were 14-3 and one of the best teams in the league all year. They dominated them, by the way. I picked the Vikings to win. 24-3 at half. I mean, come on, Minnesota. What are we doing? The Rams just absolutely blew the brakes off of them. That was a great chunk from the Rams, and they did look very good. The Eagles honestly didn't look that good against the Packers. They won 22-10. I mean, the defense looked really good. This is kind of the same thing with the Lions Commanders. I look at both these teams and I see two of maybe the best offenses in the league. Again, very similar to the Lions Commanders game. But just feel like one defense is far and away ahead of the other. And I think the Eagles' defense is one of the best in the league. Much better than the Rams. Now, the Rams' defense did look pretty good there last week against Sam Darnold and the Vikings. But again, I mean, the Eagles' defense, I feel like, just clears them. I mean, and the offense, honestly, might also be better. I mean, Saquon's going to be coming off. I was going to say he was going to be coming off 2 weeks of rest. He did play last week. I mean, how are the Rams going to stop Saquon? They're going to have to sell out to stop the run. And then when they do that, you got all the guys like A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, Dallas Goedert, Jalen Hurts can make plays with his legs. Defense, I always say this, defense does matter more in the playoffs. I think the Eagles get it done at home. I know, very boring, but hey, this is what I think is going to happen. I think the Eagles will beat the Rams, although for the Ravens-Bills game, either way that goes, I don't think that will be considered an upset. But of the three we've talked about so far, this would be the game that I think has the highest chance of being an upset. So I don't hate everyone being on the Rams here, but I am gonna have to take the Eagles just because of that defense. I just feel like they're much better defensively than the Rams are. I'd say both these offenses are comparable, but maybe the Eagles might even be better. I worry about that Rams defense. I mean, it's in Philly as well. The Rams are going to have to travel a whole lot of ways. I'm going to take the Eagles to move on to the conference championship game. But now the main event. Now this game is about as 50-50 as you can get. The Ravens versus the Bills. Now, they did play earlier in the season, and the Ravens did actually win that game. The Ravens also surprisingly, at least in my opinion, favored by 1 point in this game. On the road, as a 1 point favorite against the Bills. The Bills haven't lost at home all year, by the way. That is very interesting. The Ravens are coming off a 28-14 win over the Steelers. The Bills are coming off a 31-7 win over the Broncos. So both these teams took care of business relatively easily last week, and now they go into this game. This has a chance to be one of the best games we see in the playoffs this year. Period. I mean, these two teams are about as good as they come. Um, I would argue both these teams are top five in the league at this point. I think you gotta have the Chiefs in there, you gotta have the Lions, um, and then these two teams might be 3 and 4. The Eagles are up there as well, but I would say those are the top five teams, and they're playing each other in the divisional round. Huge game in Buffalo. There Sunday, kicking off at 6:30 Eastern time. Man, this game's going to be great. Lamar Jackson versus Josh Allen, the battle of the two MVP frontrunners. I know, the winner won't necessarily get any boost because it is a regular season award, but maybe does that bias kind of creep in? I mean, that MVP race is really crazy. I honestly think I would say in Josh Allen's the MVP, but honestly, it might be Lamar. I think he might have passed him. He might be the betting favorite right now. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, the way both. I mean, I want to give credit to both of them. Both of them have been playing ridiculous. I mean, both of them deserve the MVP, obviously, but only one of them can get it. This game, wow. All right, so let's start off. Both these offenses are very good. I'd probably say I would give the slight edge to the Ravens. That might be crazy, but they just have so many playmakers. I think they have way more than the Bills. I mean, you look at the team. Rashad Bateman's a big play waiting to happen. Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, Derrick Henry. I mean, they get a lot of guys involved. Zay Flowers. I'm not sure if he'll play in this game. That's definitely a big concern if he does miss because he is their top target. When looking at the Bills, you got Josh Allen, which is obviously a problem, but both these QBs run the ball, so I think Josh Allen, Lamar even out. James Cook, obviously, he feels like he gets in the end zone every single game. Then you got some kind of a ragtag group of receivers: Khalil Shakir, Mari Cooper, Keon Coleman, Dalton Kincaid at tight end, Dawson Knox. I mean, they got some guys too. Probably not as talented as the Ravens, but they've been. I think they've been the highest points per game offense, actually second behind the Lions. So they've got it done this year, and like I said, I believe they're 8-0 at home as well. So they haven't lost at home yet, and this is in Buffalo. Now, when looking at the defense, the Ravens' defense did start out very rough this year. It has gotten better. It seems like, it feels like at least, has gotten better. The Bills' defense, though, has been pretty consistently good all year. Like I said, defense does tend to matter more in the playoffs, and I know I've picked all the home teams. In a 50-50 game, I would say these offenses are pretty much even. I think the Bills have the edge on defense. They also get it at home. Coaching-wise, I'd probably give it to the Ravens, which makes me worry a little bit for the Bills. I think this game is going to be a great game. I'm going to take the home team, though. I'm going to take the Bills. Again, the favorite majority on the Ravens. Kind of surprising there. Majority on the lower seed. Majority on the road team. You don't see that a lot, but hey, I mean, got to get those points back, I guess. And yeah, this is obviously a game where you would take the team that not everyone's on. Yeah, I mean, wow. This game is about as 50-50 as they can get. I mean, I'm so excited to watch this game. I'm sure everyone is. But yeah, I got to go with the Bills. They haven't lost at home all year. And it's in Buffalo, that stadium, the weather. I mean, I know the Ravens play in the cold as well, but Man, this is going to be a great game. I'm going to take the Bills just because that defense. I feel like their defense is much better than the Ravens. I just do. And they also get it at home. I feel like that's a huge advantage. Again, kind of surprised the Ravens are the 1 point favorites. I kind of figured the Bills would be -1 there instead of +1. But hey, that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. But yeah, I'm going to take the Bills. But that is going to do it for the divisional round NFL picks. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you're new, turn on the noties. Links to the description as always, X, Twitch, TikTok, Discord. Make sure you follow those, join all those. College basketball every Monday, college football every Tuesday, NFL every Wednesday, and NBA every Thursday, as well as MLB content. If any of that interests you, go down and subscribe. We're trying to hit 200 subs by the end of the month and 1,000 by the end of the year. So if you could go down there and subscribe, it would be greatly appreciated. And like this video, comment. What are your thoughts? Love to debate down there. But that is going to do it. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys tomorrow with another episode of NBA Playoff Watch.